You know, I used to love getting up on Tuesday morning and looking at the ratings. Now, not a big deal. Like, we know we're going to win. I thought, why would you do that? Bro.
All right, we got a lot to talk about, fellas. Let's do this, boys. Let's start with the oh my God moment of the week. The Undertaker is the latest headliner of WWE Hall of Fame. So let's jump right into it. So two questions. We'll start with Vince this time. Who should induct him? And should this be his final hoorah? It seemed like when he went against AJ Styles in the graveyard match, he rode into the sunset. Seemed like that was the end of The Undertaker. Do we see the end of The Undertaker as far as career-wise in the ring with this Hall of Fame induction?
You know what, Chris? I would like to see something different here. I would like to see a bunch of people induct him. He had many, 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 many close friends. I would like to see one by one people go up there and say a little something and be part of that induction. Including Bruce. Bruce and Taker go back to, day one. I would love to see a bunch of guys. The Godwins were really tight with Taker. You know what I'm saying? JBL, Stone Cold Steve Austin. We can go on and on and on. As far as should this be the last hurrah, Chris, I think Paige would agree with me. Bro, that's up to him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the last hurrah is going to be when he wants it to be the last hurrah. And, if there's a special occasion, he still thinks he's got a little something in the tank. I mean, I think that call is totally, totally up to him.
Paige?
I completely agree with Vince on all things. I love the idea, and you've never seen that before. Yeah, that would be really good booking because they all could have. He's going to be the headliner of the headliners, So you take your time with that guy. He gets all the accolades he deserves. I believe as far as a match, and he should ride off into the sunset. That's the Undertaker, man. He ain't, just like Vince said, when he thinks that he's done, he's done. I think especially someone like Taker, come on, you telling me there's not a WrestleMania 5 years from now that in the middle of WrestleMania you hear bong, and he comes out and choke slams everybody. And rolls out. Yep. Gets a huge payoff. Yep. So I don't think it's Goldberg was inducted how many years ago? Yeah. And he just worked last month. So there's never any off time. The guys who I don't think you'll ever see come back for more than a stunner is guys like Steve. Because Steve is, he's done everything, but he's got the neck thing. If he didn't have the neck thing, my boy would be back time and time and time again. If he, but his overall health is the biggest thing. And he can go out there and crack some stunners and look good doing it. But, as of moving forward, I don't see him doing anything besides that, but Take, he doesn't have that. Once you got that neck thing, that's, delicate, so you got to be smart, Yeah.
Paige, what do you think about a possible match between him and Owens that's being teased? Austin and Owens for this year at Mania.
No. Not a chance. Now, hey, I could be wrong, but I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, I agree with Vince. I suggested on one of our shows that it should be just The Undertaker who's inducted into the Hall of Fame, and nobody else this year. Yeah, nobody else. I would say nobody else.
But do just what Vince said.
Yeah, that's what I talked about. That's why
everybody go up there and do it. That would make sense.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
All right, so listen, we also have the rolling down memory lane segments. So, two of the buzzing people that are in the news this week is Austin and Goldberg. This may be his last match ever in the WWE. He actually passed out to Roman Reigns. If I'm not mistaken, that is the first pass out TKO loss from that Goldberg's ever had. So, Austin versus Goldberg. Let's go throwing down memory lane to 1998. All right. Vince Russo's in the WWE Attitude Era, bro. And he's doing his thing with Austin, doing his thing with The Rock. Meanwhile, Paige on the other side of the coin is giving people cutters like crazy in the WCW. Austin versus Goldberg. Paige, who would be the bigger draw in 2022?
Oh, 2022.
Okay, Austin versus Goldberg.
I thought you were going to go back to that 98. In
Yeah.
2022.
So it's two-parter. Who was hotter in 98 and the best draw in 2022?
In early 98, there was a they do those cartoons, like the political, the cartoons, what are they called? Where they're like, it's like a sarcastic cartoon. What are they called?
Satire.
Well, whatever they do, they draw a thing. They're saying a message. Like, what's the message? And there
like
was
comic strip?
Not a comic strip, but it was in USA Today. And when I saw it, it dropped my jaw. In early '98, there was a picture of Goldberg being hung up, and in the garbage was a picture of MJ, Michael Jordan. And I was like, whoa. Now, towards the end of '98, I totally give it to Austin, because Austin is hot, and that's what flipped everything, was the whole Vince and Austin thing. That just, he was already, they were both, I would say, equally as hot in the beginning of '98. I'm going to give the nod in the beginning to Goldie, because of that cartoon that was in USA Today. By the time it got to the middle, Austin was so hot, you couldn't put him out with 5 fire trucks. He was lightning hot. As far as today, Austin came back, he would outdraw everyone. If Austin could really come back, it wouldn't be against anybody but the guy, whoever the guy is. Yeah. And he's going over. He's coming back for that big match. He's going over. And Goldie has also been used quite a bit up till this spot, and they got a lot out of him. Man. And he got some unbelievable paydays, I'm sure. So it's great for him, being where he was. But if Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin came back today, it would be like the parting of the Red Sea. That's what I think. You got some criticism toward that when it comes to Austin coming back in 2022.
Yeah, well, you know what though, Chris? I think if they both would have come back in 2022, I would have to give the nod to Austin. I'll tell you why, bro. Because he's got more range of character. You know what I'm saying? At this point in their careers, physically, there's only so much they're going to be able to do. So you're really going to have to depend on that character. And, I worked with both guys, and I just think Austin had more of a range of character. So I think there would be a lot more opportunities for Austin to do things storyline-wise that might not be a fit for Goldberg.
What about 98? Who was the hotter draw at that time?
Man, that's tough to say, bro, because Goldberg was a beast. I mean, during his streak, I don't know if anybody has ever been hotter in wrestling than what he was during that streak. And I'm including anything Steve and Vince did. During that streak, man, I don't know if anybody in the history of wrestling was ever that hot.
Yeah. Paige, I'm interested to get your take on Goldberg and Hogan, Atlanta, July of '98, when Goldberg won the World Championship for the first time. You were there. How was the aura knowing that Goldberg was going to be world champ?
Hey man, the whole thing was Austin was getting so hot, and they wanted something to compete with Stone Cold, and they knew that he was white hot. What are you going to do? Well, get the man to put him over. And friggin' Hulk was all about it, man. Like, Hulk was about business there. And for him to go like he did, like straight in the middle with his finish, like, you don't get a bigger push than that. And plus the streak continues, I think that, looking back, the call, I don't know what the real number was, but we were told it was 44,000. Yeah. And I had never seen a crowd that big in WCW. And I was there the whole time. Yeah. I seen bigger crowds at WrestleMania, but that was a Monday Nitro. And it was Bill Goldberg in Atlanta, where he played for the Falcons, and was a Georgia Bulldog. And as a Georgia Bulldog, he was the man. Like, he was the man. So it was a really big time for Bill, and he deserved every bit of it. Because when I say deserved, I mean because of all the hype and all the guys that got behind it and gave it the push. He was the most believable cat on the planet at that point, right there. So it was smart business for what we were doing. If it would have been something, different with a, screw finish or something, wouldn't have been that. But Hulk didn't do that. He did business. So, and it helped for us for a while, and it kept it legit for a while.
Now, I've talked to Eric plenty of times and interviewed him probably half a dozen times at this point. And there's been some criticism, and he's even talked about this before, that was it a good call to do a big, massive title change of that caliber on free TV, but it was actually cable, and people pay for cable, but essentially free TV as opposed to a pay-per-view? Do you think it should have stretched out to the pay-per-view, or do you think on just regular television?
Absolutely. I didn't understand it being on that. But again, there was the fear that here comes Vince and the fucking the WWF. They were coming. Like, it wasn't like we were just whooping their ass every week dramatically like we did in '97 and early '98. It was, you could feel it coming. Yeah. And I swear to God, I will never forget, and Vince, correct me if I'm wrong on the station, but I think that Canada station was TSN.
Yeah.
And Bischoff was being interviewed. And we're still winning. Not by significant amount, but we're still winning continually. And Eric, to me, made the mistake of saying, I used to love getting up on Tuesday morning and looking at the ratings. Now, not a big deal. Like, we know we're going to win. I thought, why would you do that? Bro. Like that kind of cocky thing. And it was Bischoff being Eric Bischoff, the character. And just like so Eric Bischoff, he wanted people to hate him, the character. He loved it. He was a true heel. But like, no, don't say that, bro. And it wasn't long after that all of a sudden it was this again, and then it was this.
Let's land the plane, fellas. This is the Low Bro So Jeff Hardy is he's just kind of doing his thing since leaving WWE, still working with his band and things like that. He does signings, does Q&A sessions. And one of the Q&A sessions, Jeff Hardy being Jeff Hardy is like just kind of, carefree. And he was asked, "Hey, so are you going to AEW?" No kayfabe at all, just straight up. Yeah, I'm going and I'm excited about it, So just he doesn't protect the business at all. No kayfabe, just straight up shoot. Yeah, I'm going to AEW. No surprise, forbidden door there. Paige, Jeff Hardy going to AEW. What do you think about that during a Q&A? Spoiled it.
Jeff, so he's super chill. He's super, he's just. He kind of lives in his own world, and don't know if that's true or not. You know what I mean? Like, what a great rib if it's not. What a great rib, if it's not true. Like, I don't know if it is or it isn't, but I could see it happening. Yeah. But I don't know if it's true or not. And I hope it's not, only because what a great rib.
Yeah, that would be interesting, rib. Vince, your thoughts on Jeff Hardy saying he's going to AEW? Just
bro, I got to tell you, bro, when you're in the WWE as a talent, bro, you got to be so careful about everything you say, man, because you've got people within the company waiting for you to say the wrong thing if they want to take you down a few pegs. So once you're gone, bro, and now you've got that freedom for especially a guy like Jeff Hardy. And he knows, like, now I can say whatever I want to say and not have to worry about the political ramifications. Bro, it's such a freeing experience, man. That's why you see so many people that once they leave the WWE, it's like they were mimes, bro, and they never spoke and they couldn't say anything. Now all of a sudden, you're a free agent and I can talk freely. Bro, it's a great feeling. So I'm sure that's what he's experiencing right now.